The Loch Ness Monster has been in the center of every lake urban legend. And for many of us, this monster was our way to understand that there's a lot more lurking beneath the depths than we realized. So today I picked up the list of the top 10 scary Loch Ness Monster variations all around the world. I'm your host Andrew, and let's get right into this. At a number 10 spot, we have the Lake Van Monster. In eastern Turkey's Lake Van, thousands of eyewitnesses have reported a sea serpent with Loch Ness Monster characteristics known as the Van Gulu Canavari. I am very sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Sightings have been reported since April 29, 1889, when an Ottoman newspaper article convinced the locals that a creature dragged a man into the lake. Then in 1997, a 26-year-old teaching assistant at Van University supposedly filmed the creature, and here's some clips of that.
The Loch Ness Monster, Turkish style. A fabled monster from the depths, apparently captured on video. A swift swimming beastie.
What do you guys think? Some have praised this for being solid evidence, while others believe it's a swimming elephant or just some floating garbage. Other criticisms talk about why this creature only goes straight instead of curving like a sea serpent would. Regardless of its many controversies, it's surprisingly one of the best footages we'll ever see from someone recording a supposed mythical creature. At a number 9 spot, we have Selma. Hidden away in Lake Seljord in Norway is a sea monster that has terrorized locals since the 18th century. This monster is known as Selma. The lake this monster lives on is a 12-mile long, half-mile wide body of icy cold water that was formed by prehistoric glaciers, and despite that it's a very beautiful place to see, this creature is enough to keep you far away from its waters. Reports of the Selma date all the way back to the late 1750s, with all of them describing a 30 to 40 foot long serpent-like creature with multiple humps on its back. Although there is no physical evidence proving the existence of this creature, there are videos and photographs that show that there is something large and something that's not identified living inside of this lake. Researchers even believe there is something unnatural in the lake after sonar readings recorded sounds of a quote unknown mammal. At number 8 spot, we have Lariosauro or Larry. Lake Como in Italy is considered one of the deepest lakes in all of Europe, with a depth around 1,345 feet. And with that type of depth, this gives us all the more reason for something big to live inside of it. The first sighting of this creature dates back to 1946, when a local newspaper reported that 2 unnamed hunters saw an unidentifiable animal inside of the lake. Then a few years later, fossils of a creature would be identified near the lake that consisted of a long tail, 4 flippers, and a small head. Then 8 years later, it would be spotted again by a deep sea diver who claimed it had the head of a crocodile and the body of a serpent. Soon after, more reports would arise giving more information about this creature, and eventually it was regarded by many locals to be around 20 to 30 feet long. Nowadays, many call this creature Larry, which seems like an innocent name, but I guarantee you if you visit and see how deep this lake really is, Larry is the last thing you would want to encounter. At number 7 spot, we have Altie. In southeastern Georgia, along the 137-mile long Altamaha River, some say a gigantic sea monster is lurking in the depths, with reports dating all the way back to the 1800s. Altie, or by its original name Altamaha, Altie is a river sea monster that was first discovered by Captain Delano of the schooner Eagle. He described the creature being 70 feet long, with the circumference the size of a barrel and the head resembling an alligator. Reports of the creature started to amass, with every description describing it to be a 20 to 30 feet long sturgeon-like fish, but in my opinion, this thing looks like a distant relative to the Loch Ness Monster, doesn't it? Over the next few years, there are many sightings of Altie, and they remain consistent in their descriptions. Then more recently, a video by Jeff Warren shared an unidentified creature that could resemble Altie, but you guys be the judge of that. At number 6 spot, we have Sharlie. The legend of Sharlie the lake monster was first recorded in the early 1920s when railroad workers in McCall saw something unexplainable. In McCall, Idaho, locals will tell you of the tale of this creature. Sharlie has been known as Slimy Slim and the Twilight Dragon of Payette Lake. Over the years, this serpent-like creature with a dragon head has made many appearances. At first glance, many people think it's a log before it rises up to reveal its head. The last documented sighting of this creature came in 2002. Sharlie continued to be spotted over the years, but has been seen less and less frequently. It is reported to be between 10 to 50 feet long, brownish green in color, having a shell, and travels in serpent-like waves. In the hump of our list, we have Chessie. Just like the Loch Ness beast from Scotland, Chessie is a large serpent-like creature that has lurked the depths of Chesapeake Bay. Witnesses claim the monster is around 20 to 40 feet long, and it uses its body in a sine curve to swim around the water. The sightings began in 1977 when the mass hysteria hit the locals, believing the creature was truly out there, causing a mass of disappearances and drownings in the area. These would continue all the way to the late 80s, but then the hype finally died down. Perhaps Chessie swam away from the area, or maybe since it was the 70s, everyone was just not sober. However, remember when I said the hype died down? Well, only kind of, because in 2014, a man spotted a snake-like creature 25 to 30 feet long with no fins around the shore of the bay. So who knows, it might still be out there. Number 4, Tessie. Lake Tahoe is one of the most scenic lakes in the world, but somehow there's a creature in it that will kill your mood next time you go there. Legends from the Paiute tribe talk about a serpentine beast who lives in the underwater tunnels beneath the many caves that surround Lake Tahoe. Then in 1959, a police officer named Mickey Daniels reported that something large rocked his boat while he was fishing with a friend at Lake Tahoe. It was a cause of concern because his boat was 43 feet long, so something huge must have shaken it up. Except there's no sort of whales in Lake Tahoe, so many claimed it was actually the beast Tessie. They believe Tessie to be around 80 feet long and it's as thick as a telephone pole. Many claimed it has relations to the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland, and if you see these two side by side, they honestly look like brothers. Regardless, just be wary of what lies beneath the depths next time you swim at Lake Tahoe, because you know, sometimes the beauty of the area may be a bit too deceiving. Number 3, Caddy of Cadboro. In the waters of Washington, they have a beast known as the Cadborosaurus, nicknamed the Caddy. It is said to be a 20-foot serpentine creature that inhabits the northern part of the west coast. It's described as having the head of a horse and the body of a very large eel. Eyewitness reports have been coming for the past 200 years with over 300 different sightings. As with all these Loch Ness Monster hypes, people claim to have found and captured ones, but it eventually gets to the point when they can't even tell what's real and what's fake. At number 2 spot, we have Torch Lake Monster. This one is pretty much well known in Michigan, but for those who don't know, the tale of Torch Lake Monster dates back to the 1960s and 70s. Obviously, it takes place in Torch Lake, which is located in North Michigan. It is also their second largest lake in the state. A fisherman and a coach by the name of Dade Foley is credited with spotting the creature first and telling stories of it since he worked by the lake for a while. Legend goes that the giant creature has a lizard's body, the head of a cat, one brown and one blue eye, along with slimy green skin. Nighttime is when this creature is said to arise from the depths. At this time, many swimmers and boats go missing, only to wash ashore with no evidence of what happened. Number 1, the Flathead Lake Monster. Flathead Lake is situated northwest Montana, just in case you wanted to avoid this place for your next swim. Why, you may ask? Many visit this lake for its unprecedented beauty, but few realize that there's been sightings of a serpentine monster that hides itself in these murky waters. Those who have seen it describe it as a very large eel-like creature that moves around like a snake and is as long as 40 feet. Many say its head is shaped like a bowling ball with multiple humps on its back. It all started in 1889 when James C. Kerr was making rounds across the lake when he and his passengers discovered this creature, describing as whale-like from its sheer size alone. Ever since, there's been hundreds of sightings, but who really knows what lies underneath the depths of this lake? Well, these are the top 10 scary Loch Ness Monster versions all across the world. What did you guys think about this? Leave a comment down below with your thoughts and some suggestions for our next videos. But don't forget to like and subscribe for some more content. I'm your host Andrew, and I hope you guys have a scary day.